office of Rand Allen Architects. So he was familiar with the property, familiar with us. And what we did is we prepared a single-space 3-page memo for him that said, this is what we want, this is what we don't want. This is what the house has to be able to do, and this is what we cannot incorporate. For instance, we did not want a dishwasher. So there are just certain, and but we left the design to him. Because he's a design architect, we did not try to tell him anything more than we didn't want more than 2,000 square feet. We didn't need more than 2 bedrooms, and those, you know, the kind of functionality that we wanted in the house, but not how to design it. And then we worked with a builder on implementing the design. And for instance, the builder helped us choose the wall systems, the builder helped us choose the lighting systems and so forth. And other consultants like the rainwater consultant, the solar hot water consultant and so forth. And then the finishes in the house are sustainable products and Energy Star appliances. Next. And the result is we feel like we've been kind of vindicated because of the accreditations that our house has received. We have, this is a picture of our LEED Platinum certificate from the U.S. Green Building Council. Next. This is our 5-star rating from Austin Green Energy. Next. And then this is what we're really excited about, because we're hoping to go to Las Vegas in January and find out if we got gold or silver for the Energy Value Housing Award from the National Association of Home Builders. So we feel like with the ideas that we had and the home that we built is being recognized as accomplishing the goals that we had by these groups that are pretty tough judges of what you do. Next. Okay, well here we go. We're on the road to the house. You can see it's a rural setting. We have lots of oak trees and lots of cedar trees. Next. And this is the cliff. We're about 200 feet above Johnson Creek. And you can see up the river in this very rugged, very rocky location. Next. And here's our house. This picture is taken from looking over the neighbor's fence. And our neighbor is a ranch. And you can see some of the features of our house. It has 2 silos that work like chimneys to help us remove the hot air from the house. The center of the house appears to be 2-story. It's actually 1-story with high windows to capture the winter sun so we can warm the home using the sun in the wintertime. And you can also see our solar hot water panels down below the house, and the metal roof. You can see that we have a stucco exterior. And the rooms that you're looking at, this is the south elevation of the house, are the guest bedroom, the west silo, the dining room, the living area, the piano, alcove, TV room, and the library. So that's what you're seeing along that way. Okay, then now we're having given you that kind of an introduction, we're just going to talk about what it's like to live in our house. So it's a day in the off-grid life at Medicine Bluff, Mountain Home, Texas. Next. This is when the sun comes up, this is how our house looks from the east. This is the east elevation. You can see the pillars that are the ash juniper pillars. You can see the stucco exterior. And we'll take you right through the front door, which is an antique front door. Next. And this is what we wake up to in the morning. Now that it's getting really cold in the morning, we may not have as many windows open. But during the hot summer, we opened the windows, and which are these large casement windows, and let the natural air come in. So the ventilation of our home is natural air ventilation. Next. And so it's time for breakfast. And this is a feature of our home I get a lot of questions about. That's my wood cook stove. And it's in the forefront of this picture. It's a brand new model that just came out about a year ago from Hearthstone. It's called a Diva 100. The surface of the cook stove is glass, just like a It is. Huh? The interesting thing about this cook stove, it has a glass cooktop, it has an oven, it has a nice little convenient ash removal drawer, so it's very easy to work with. But a wood cook stove only really uses what you would consider small wood. The largest log that you would put in this stove is the size of a salami. Next. And here you can see next to the stove, this is the amount of wood that I use to cook breakfast. Next. And it consists of twigs and some kind of cigar-sized limbs, and then the limbs up to the size of salami. And with that much wood, I can fix breakfast. Next. Okay, I'm good.
Because the wood cook stove does not use large logs, we're able to take a downed oak tree like this and harvest all of the branches and twigs and use it in the cook stove. If you go to the next picture, you can see the low-tech tools that we use to do that. We have a bow saw and a lopper, and those two tools are enough to cut up the twigs and branches, and you can use wood up to the size of a salami in that stove. And we don't have a chainsaw or anything like that. We don't use any petroleum products on our property. We just use tools like that to get the wood for the stove. Next.
Okay, so now I've started my fire. You see it's a fairly small firebox, and it's very, very easy. It's an excellent stove. It draws beautifully. We never have any problem with smoke in the house or particles or anything like that. Next. Now I'm getting ready to fix coffee, and you'll notice this beautiful rainwater coming out of the faucet. And we just enjoy our rainwater so much. It tastes wonderful. And
this is the 20,000-gallon Pioneer tank that we use to store our rainwater. You probably have seen Pioneer has a display here. You can get a close-up look of what the tank looks like. Our rainwater system was designed by Texas Rainwater Systems. Barry Wall did that. He also has a display here. Our rainwater system collects rainwater from both our home and our carport and takes it by underground pipes to this tank. This tank was especially helpful because it's only 7 feet 9 inches tall. We're able to have that at the same level as the house and collect all that rainwater by gravity, so we don't need to use pumps to get the water into the tank. If you go to the next slide. This is a picture of the inside of the little pump house that's next to our rainwater tank. You can see there that there's on the right side, a 25, a 10, and a 5 micron filter. Those filters are used to get any particulate matter out of the water. And Stephanie is pointing at this little device there. Believe it or not, that's the pump that we use. It's a flow light booster pump, and that pump pumps about 4 to 5 gallons a minute, so it's enough power to actually give us water pressure. But what we really do is we pump the water into that pressure tank there, and then use the pressure tank to get water in the house. And that way we don't have to have that pump going on and off all the time. The pump uses very little electricity and has no surge, so it's really easy on the system. Also on the top of that picture you can see that there's a UV light to get rid of pathogens, and there's a charcoal filter on the left, although that's probably superfluous since it's rainwater. There's no taste issue to begin with. Next.
okay, the surface of the stove is up to 300 degrees. We're ready to cook breakfast. Next. And there's my oatmeal boiling away next to the percolator. You notice is that you start the pots on the left-hand side of the stove right above the firebox where it's the hottest, and when you want to go to simmer, you just simply move the pot